YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I did say I would stop in today with you guys and discuss a topic, stay on topic and discuss something, It's, I guess, going to be more or less a story time, I guess I can say it. Today I am going to talk to you guys about a time my mom sent me to jail. That's right. I got sent to jail because of my mother. Do I hold it against her? No. She's my mom and I love her. Just for that couple of hours, I held it against her. Just that much. But I got over it, When you love someone, people make mistakes and you learn to get over it. You move past it because, no one's perfect. But it's going to be, how many years ago was it? I was 17, so quite a few years ago. My dad had passed away, and she, I guess, turned more or less to alcohol. She started drinking every day, all the time, and she wanted to go to see her boyfriend, I guess that's what you call him at the time. And I was sick that day. Me and my cousin were both sick. She came and told me, "Come drive me. I want to be taken to this place." And I told her, "Mom, I'm sick. I can't drive." She did not care. She says, "Come on, I need you to drive me. I've been drinking. I can't drive." So, the kind-hearted person I am, I said, "Okay." I put my shoes on, and I drove her there. She originally told me it was just going to be for a little bit, that we wouldn't stay long, and we'd head home so I could get rest. That was not the case. She ended up spending, I want to say, 4 or 5 hours there, and by the time that time ended, I was like deadly sick. I was so sick. I was dizzy. I was vomiting, and all I wanted to do was sleep. She had been drinking more while she was there, and then we went to leave, and I told her, because I was so dizzy, there was no way I could drive. I told her, "Mom, I cannot drive." And my cousin that was with us, she could drive too, but she didn't know how to drive a standard, and the car was a standard. So my mom got in the front seat. Sorry, I keep moving you guys. I need to buy one of those things, tripods or whatever those are called. Easier to hold you guys up. So my cousin was in the passenger seat. My mother was the driver, and I was laid all the way flat in the back of the car. And we started off, and she had her cell phone with her, and then by I want to say 5 minutes into our trip, I'm gonna move you guys again, sorry. About 5 minutes into our trip, she wanted to get her phone. She wanted to send a message, I do believe is what it was. She wanted to send a text, and she was already driving all sorts of crazy. So me and my cousin told her no, she could not be on her phone. She needed to pay attention to the driving. And at this point, she's going about 65 miles per hour. We were on a back road, and she was just laughing. I remember that. She was just laughing. And me and my cousin both told her, and I was still laying down in the back seat, and me and my cousin both told her, "Pay attention to the road. As soon as we get home, you can make your call or send your text." And at that point, I just remember her getting up to I think it was 75 miles per hour. And I sit up, and I looked at when I could tell her speed was going faster, I sit up and I looked at the speed monitor part, and she was already to 85 miles per hour. I remember just sitting back to the seat and latching my buckle around me. And I'm like, "Oh, heck no." And I want to say immediately, not within more than 20 seconds of me fastening my buckle, she was already reaching, by this point when we crashed. And by the time she crashed, she had us going about 90 miles per hour, I do believe it was. And I'm like, I was just so thankful that I had just barely sit up and put my buckle. Every time I'm trying to film with you guys. So I was just so thankful that I had got enough time to sit up and put my buckle on, because who knows what would have happened if I would not have got the buckle on. We crashed. The car was totaled. She could not drive it. And she told me, she's like, "Alicia, I can't let them know it was me driving." She gave me a big old story as to why she could not let them know she was driving. And she's like, please say that you were the driver, please. And so the cops were called, and she called someone to come and get her and my cousin. And I stayed there at the car and waited for the police. And I did what she asked. I said, yes, I was the driver. I made up a story as to what happened. I don't even remember what the story was now, what I told them what happened, but yeah. So I was issued, my mom didn't have insurance at that time, and well, by the marks they did something with what is it called? I don't know how they can measure like your speed, like the marks on the road, to be able to see if you're speeding or not. And immediately they said, you were speeding, you were not going the speed that is posted down here. So it was no insurance, it was reckless driving, I do believe, and it was speeding. And my mom, after that, she's like, oh no, I'll take care of the tickets. She's like, she promised to take care of the tickets. And when I found out how much they were, I told her about when they had to be paid, how much they were, and she's like, oh, I'll have it to you. The time came for those tickets to be paid, and I didn't get the money. So my mom ended up giving me the money, I think, like a month later. But by that time, it was too late. There was already a warrant for the arrest. And one evening, I want to say a month and like 2 days after, after that, there was a knock at the door, and my husband opened the door, and it was an officer, and he called me in there. And the officer asked me, are you so-and-so? And I'm like, yes. And he said, I need to see your ID to verify who you are, to make sure you really are this person. So I showed my ID, and he's like, okay, you're under arrest for these traffic tickets. Oh my goodness, I cried. I cried so hard. Like, literally, I cried. And I remember getting down to the jail, and they said, okay, you're going to go to the booking area. And they got the picture, and they let me make phone calls as I was waiting there. And I called my husband. I'm like, get me out. And he's like, I'm going to go try to borrow the money to bond you out. And then I called my grandma, and my grandma told me that they would go with my uncle, and my uncle would lend the money, and they'd go right, then to get me out. But the requirements that he was making, if he got me out, was I had to tell the court and everyone that it was not me driving the car, that it was my mother. Well, my husband made it before anybody else and got me out, so. But I was in there for about 4 hours. That was the worst 4 hours in my entire life, let me tell you. I cried the whole time. I just wanted out. That's all I wanted. And I was so upset for that whole rest of the day. I'm like, how could you let me in here? Let me get put in here. And I think I even tried to call my mom when I was in there. And I told her what happened. And she didn't offer nothing to help get me out. So yeah, that was my experience of my mom sending me to jail. I have the worst. You guys are probably saying, stop moving me around so much. I have the worst luck of people taking advantage of me and getting me put in awful situations where I'm taking the blame for them. And I don't like that. I need to learn how to stand my ground and just not be walked all over, I guess. If I could go back and do it again, would I? Most likely yes, because I have a big heart. And if I can help you or do anything for you, I'll do it. So, has that happened to anybody else? Comment down below and let me know. Did you ever go to jail because of someone else? Because of someone else's fault and you took the blame for them? or what would of you did in my situation? Comment down below and let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here, you guys. I need to get dinner going. I may try to put you guys up and let you see a little bit of what I'm doing for dinner time. But I hope everybody has a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tap your notification bell so that way you know every time I post a video. And I'll see you back here next time, you guys. Bye!